Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. Prince Albert residents may have noticed some updates at the intersection of 1st Avenue West and 22nd Street. The upgrades were funded through the Provincial Traffic Safety Fund grant administered by SGI. This $68,000 grant was awarded to the City of Prince Albert by the Photo Speed Enforcement Committee. The project included new medians, new pedestrian ramps, stop signs, no parking signs, crosswalks, and paving. Grants are awarded to communities twice a year using proceeds from Photo Speed Enforcement. SGI says the upgrades come after years of studying this particular intersection.
When the city decided to do this intersection, they studied 9 years from 2013 to 2022, and there were 63 collisions. That resulted in 22 injuries. There was $800,000 worth of claims.
The Prince Albert Police Service says it supports the upgrades to the intersection. It says any effort that helps protect drivers, cyclists, and pedestrians is supported by police. A Saskatchewan man convicted of killing 2 people and injuring his own daughter in a drunk driving crash is back behind bars. In January 2020, Tyler Seeley veered into oncoming traffic on Highway 41 and crashed into a truck, killing Marjorie and Gord Clausen and injuring his 4-year-old daughter riding in his back seat. He was sentenced to more than 5 years behind bars in August 2020. January 2024, Seeley was granted statutory release. But now the Parole Board of Canada has revoked his release after Seeley breached his conditions by using meth and cocaine. The parole board says Seeley has not made changes to his life and poses a risk to the public. He's now back in prison. Saskatoon's Marquess Downs racetrack will soon become a gravel parking lot. City councillors approved plans from Prairieland to remove the track and demolish the grandstand and horse barns at its monthly meeting this morning. The city says the buildings are past their serviceable life. The area will be developed as a gravel parking lot until Prairieland comes back with a plan for the area sometime next year. The decision puts an end to 5 years of uncertainty at the site after COVID canceled its 2020 racing season. A group looking to bring professional soccer planned to use the stands and turn the area into a stadium before inflation and construction costs soared. Members of the horse racing community called the decision a dagger through the heart, while others wondered why demolition is necessary.
We're doing it all in a month without any public consultation. What's the rush? Like, where's everybody going? Why do we need a parking lot so urgently?
The city says no part of Prairieland's lease agreement with the city requires public consultation. Well, if you don't have any plans to put 5 down on some lucky horse name, at least you got somewhere to park, Jeff.
Yes, exactly. Plenty of parking, no problems.
What do we got for weather?
What do we have for weather? Well, you can park yourself in front of some warmer than seasonal temperatures. Although there is a bit of a wrinkle in the forecast from earlier in the week, there's a chance of some showers in the forecast for the Prince Albert region. And tonight, cover up those plants that are delicate. Maybe you've still got some vegetables, some tomatoes on the vine, because we are expecting widespread frost in Saskatchewan. And we'll talk more about those chilly conditions later on.
Saskatchewan's population hit an all-time high in July, according to new numbers from Stats Canada. As of July 1st, Saskatchewan's estimated population was more than 1.26 million, growing by more than 2,400 people in the second quarter. Over the last year, Saskatchewan has outpaced the national growth rate, adding more than 19,000 people to its population in that time frame. Canada's total population now stands at more than 41.6 million. STARS is holding its annual Rescue on the Prairies fundraiser today. After being airlifted from the STARS base and taken to a location outside of city limits, these Saskatoon community leaders faced a series of medical and aviation challenges. Here they were simulating the dispatch center, learning to work through distractions in order to prioritize resources. Participants have to raise $50,000 to secure their rescue and earn their flight home. The STARS president says this fundraiser is critical for their services.
So we fundraise half of our operating budget every year, and so events such as Rescue on the Prairies are actually really what keep us in the air. So they are critical to our everyday mission.
This year's fundraising goal is $400,000. Sask Lotteries handed out a $5 million check to a woman from Outlook this afternoon. Ivy R. bought a lotto ticket from a gas station in Whitecap while on her way to take her dog Lady to the groomers. A few days later, she checked her ticket while going to the gas station for a slushie, where she was shocked to learn that she had a $5 million ticket.
I took it up there and he rang it through and I said, oh, just take the slush out of that. And he just jumped back and he was shaking. I was shaking when he told me. It's just like, so I said, I'll be right back. I got to go home. So I went home, showed Mike the ticket, and he looked at it, and he looked at me, and he said, are you rich? He said, where's my slush?
In addition to a big check, she was also gifted a slushie machine. After the break, Prince Albert Concert Band is kicking things off. Find out about the open house happening this evening. Tonight, there's an open house for the Prince Albert Concert Band. Jasmine Pelche has more.
Prince Albert Concert Band is starting their fall season, and you guys are about to start up. You're starting rehearsals soon. Are you looking forward to that?
Absolutely, yeah. Wednesday, September 24th. And yeah, we're going to start a new season with some new music and hopefully have some new faces there as well.
Is there anything different this year about the kind of music that you're choosing or looking at?
Not really. The music that we're going to be playing is part of the kind of traditional concert band repertoire, and as far as events and things go, that's kind of just going to be the same as we always do. We try to theme every concert, and so the first one coming up will be themed around Christmas, and we'll also play some other concert band pieces that are maybe kind of fantasy inspired or magic inspired is the theme, but yeah, nothing too crazy, nothing too new as far as repertoire goes.
Where did the magic theme come from?
I was just thinking about Christmas and how, you know, I want to do something a little bit different, and I always associate Christmas as like a very magical time of year, and it's not like necessarily like Lord of the Rings, like fantasy magical in that way, but just like anything that is special or magic in the way that it's just like, oh, that little twinkly feeling of like Christmas, and anything that's just kind of not normal, I guess, in the sense, and special.
Rehearsals are starting. Are you going to jump right into the Christmas music, or how do you sort of get back into the groove of things after a summer?
So the first rehearsal is actually more of an open house. So it's open to all new members, anybody who wants to come and see what the concert band is about. So for the first rehearsal, often we kind of just introduce ourselves, myself, and then we have a board, and we kind of go around and say who we are, and then we talk about what the year is going to look like with performances and rehearsals, and we start to play some repertoire. I'm not sure if we'll jump into the Christmas stuff totally tomorrow, but we probably will soon, which is I guess one of the fun parts of band. You get to explore and celebrate Christmas even in the fall.
How long is the season going to run?
So we kind of break up our year into two chunks. The first season, or the first kind of session, I suppose, will run until December 3rd. That's when we're going to have our first concert, our Christmas concert. And then the second part of the year starts end of January, and we go until about the beginning of May. And so we'll be done. We usually wrap up around middle of May, beginning of June, depending on certain things that we have coming up.
Where are the rehearsals and where are the performances?
So our rehearsals are all at Calvary United Church here in Prince Albert, and performances, it kind of totally depends on what we're doing. I believe our Christmas concert is going to be held at St. Mary High School in their auditorium, and I think we're working towards actually performing our spring concert at the E.A. Rawlinson Center and combining the talents of a few other groups to fill the space.
What are you most looking forward to with this upcoming season?
Great question. I'm just so excited to get the group together again. We have such an awesome band full of so many talented people, and we haven't seen each other for the whole summer. So I'm just excited to get together as a group again, play some music, and hopefully see some new faces and continue to grow the concert band as we've been trying to do for the last few years.
Have you heard from any other members that are itching to get back?
Absolutely, yeah. We had a first meeting, kind of just a board meeting last week, and everybody there was just chomping at the bit to get back to playing music. And a few other members have reached out asking when rehearsals are starting and when they can expect to be sitting in the room with everybody else again. So yeah, there's definitely some buzz from members in the group, and yeah, we're all really excited to get going again.
It's an exciting week for Concert Band then, and I'm sure you guys are going to have a great time getting everybody back in together so you can get working on those Christmas and magic songs.
Yes.
But thank you for having me out here and giving a little bit of background information.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure.
Jeff will break down the weather forecast when we come back, and later, a Canadian study tries to improve outcomes for dialysis patients. So, Jeff, did you just hint at the fact that the ground might look a little bit like the inside of my freezer in the morning?
Yes, yes, indeed. And you got to clean that up, young fella. Yeah. Yeah, we've got some frost on the way, and it's widespread. It's not just, oh, pat here and there. Some places it's a frost advisory. Some places just some patchy frost. But nonetheless, if you have some delicate flowers or vegetables you want to prolong their life or not ruin them after all that growing during the growing season, cover them up. So anyways, we'll take a look at our satellite and radar shot here, and really not a lot to talk about. That high pressure ridge is in place, but some of that warm air will be displaced by some colder air coming down from the north, and that's why we're going to be dealing with, as I said, a frost advisory. There might be some patchy fog out there as well, but we'll get to that in a second or two. Let's take a look at our forecast in terms of our pressure and our satellite computer modeling, and really we don't anticipate a lot in the way of precipitation. A little something showing up in some parts of Saskatchewan eventually, but it looks like it's localized into northern Alberta, at least for the next 24 hours. And those pressure lines, yeah, getting fairly close together, so we do anticipate gusty winds up around the 50-kilometer-an-hour mark. Tonight, temperatures dropping down into the low single digits, so that's why these frost advisories are out there. We're dealing with mainly clear skies, and some places will deal with some fog patches, which could be a bit of a blessing, but ultimately err on the side of caution and cover these things up. And then tomorrow, look at that, above seasonal temperatures, not as warm as today, but that's still above seasonal, with temperatures hovering around the 20-degree mark, specifically 18 degrees for Spiritwood, the Battleford's 21, 19 in Candle Lake and Birch Hills and Rostern. Melfort also coming in at 19 under sunny skies, and a hint of cloud cover for the Nipawin area, mainly sunny and 20 degrees. On to Prince Albert in detail. So for the Gateway City, dropping down to 1 degree tonight, so expect some frost. Some fog patches are possible. Winds out of the northwest 30, but that will back off. That's one of the reasons why the fog will be able to develop. And then as we take a look at tomorrow, a high of 19 degrees, so about 3 or 4 degrees above seasonal for the Prince Albert area. Mainly sunny skies and winds from the southeast at 20, gusting to 40. Making our way to Friday, we've got ourselves, yes, there's that chance of showers I was talking about a 50% chance of some precipitation. 16 degrees, so that's pretty much seasonal. And then, back into the low 20s. 21 for Saturday and Sunday, so the weekend's looking not too bad. Even warmer to start the work week, 23 degrees on Monday. National Truth and Reconciliation Day, mainly cloudy and 23. And back to work Wednesday, we've got ourselves cloudy skies and 21 degrees.
I wanted to say the daytime lows were the cold topic, but some of those daytime highs are actually kind of warm. But speaking of hot topics, Jeff, let's talk balls and strikes, because a major rule change in Major League Baseball as robot umpires will be used in the 2026 season.
2-2. You have got to be kidding me.
The league's competition committee voted yesterday to bring in a challenge system for balls and strikes. This comes after years of testing in the minor leagues, in spring training, and in this year's MLB All-Star Game. Teams will be given 2 challenges per game. Batters, pitchers, and catchers will be the only ones allowed to trigger the system. And the WHL season is now in full swing, and soon NHL teams will be playing games that count too. But could a WHL team beat a team donning NHL colors? Matt Young has this week's Classic Sports Moments.
In
In 1990, the Saskatoon Blades took on some fierce competition, but the toughest opponent was likely a squad of players which had reached the NHL. CTV Saskatoon recently found rare footage in our archives of an exhibition game involving a squad of Winnipeg Jets rookies taking on the Saskatoon Blades. The Blades roster for this one also included a few University of Saskatchewan Huskies hockey players, while the Jets had younger talent in Chris Draper, Stu Barnes, Craig Martin, and Sergei Karin. Perhaps it was a bit of foreshadowing, as the Saskatoon Blades struggled that season, finishing 29-41-2 and missing the playoffs. The Winnipeg Jets also failed to make the playoffs that season as well. Still, it was a rare sight for fans to see a team wearing NHL colors on one side and their hometown Saskatoon Blades on the other. And if you want to check out more classic sports moments from the days of Wilco and wood-finish televisions, you can check them out on our website.
Do you have a community event you would like to promote? Or maybe you'd like to draw attention to your organization. Let your local CTV station help you spread the word. Contact us at 306-922-6020 or email panews@ctv.ca. You can appear on CTV Prince Albert's News at 5 and get your message to our viewers.
Dialysis is a life-saving procedure for patients with kidney disease, but it can also have severe side effects. Pauline Chan has more on a new Canadian study to see if a new type of filter can help.
Frank Ansell bundles himself in a parka, heated blanket, and even gloves when he goes for dialysis 3 times a week.
I suffer from low blood pressure, high blood sugars, and I'm just exhausted.
His diabetes also complicates things, but Dr. Pavel Roshanov says many patients experience severe side effects.
Many people are itchy all over their body, so that's quite a bothersome symptom that patients tell us about. Many people have a difficult time sleeping, and they have restless legs at night. Many people are breathless in the days between their dialysis treatments.
In dialysis, the patient's blood is circulated through a dialyzer, a type of filter that removes toxins from the blood and rebalances some of the blood's chemicals. But a new type of filter is now available that promises to do that even more efficiently and filter out significantly more toxins.
And so in doing so, we hope that patients will feel better and live longer and stay out of hospital admissions for longer.
The study, led by London Health Sciences, is now recruiting some 4,800 participants across Canada.
We're conducting a large randomized control trial currently in patients who undergo chronic maintenance hemodialysis.
The main problem is the cost of the newer filters, 3 times the cost of the current high-flux filters.
The cost to healthcare systems can pretty quickly build up, and dialyzer costs are routinely one of the top costs in a dialysis program.
So the researchers will be examining the range of benefits to patients. They hope to complete the study in 5 to 6 years. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
A Dalhousie PhD student is turning heads with a groundbreaking idea to tackle brain cancer. As Mike Lamb shows us, Annika Benson has just won the Atlantic Canada Falling Walls Lab competition, earning her a spot at the international finals in Germany.
My name is Annika Benson. I am a PhD researcher in biomedical engineering at Dalhousie, and we are currently in the microsonic lab, which is an ultrasound lab here at Nova Scotia Health in Dal. So I was fortunate to win the first place at the Falling Walls Atlantic Canada competition. It is a pitch competition where competitors have 3 minutes to basically present their research or innovation, and they're judged on their impact factor and obviously your presentation skills as well. So my pitch was about the ultrasound probe that my lab's developed. So we developed a miniature high-resolution ultrasound probe for brain surgery. So right now, when surgeons are trying to perform brain surgery, there's a real lack of tools to help them actually see where that tumor is during the procedure itself. And ultrasound's been proven to be really helpful for that, but a lot of tools are actually too large to be used in these holes that they make in the patient's skull. Our lab has developed this miniature ultrasound probe that that we actually believe is the world's smallest ultrasound probe of its kind. It can be used in much smaller surgical pathways to guide brain surgeries. And what's also really special about it is that it produces really high-resolution images. Compared to other ultrasound probes, you could see a lot clearer sort of detail in the edges of what's tumor versus what's healthy tissue. And that's really important for treating patients. At the beginning of November, I will get to go to Berlin to compete in the Falling Walls finals. So I'm very excited for sort of the learning opportunities and just to hear about developments outside of my field of research. It's a huge honor to have won, and I'm really excited to get to represent this work on the global stage. My supervisor, Dr. Jeremy Brown, and the other members of my lab have been working on this project for years, so I'm thrilled to get to tell more of the world about what we're doing here in Halifax. It's really addressing a gap that's been existing for a really long time in the field of neurosurgery, so I really hope that sort of way far beyond Halifax, this will be able to really do a lot of good in the world.
Brought to you by Saskatchewan Union of Nurses. Thank you to Saskatchewan's 11,000 registered nurses.
I don't know. That's pretty. I guess I could call that highbrow, eh, Jeff? That's pretty impressive
that
stuff.
That was very impressive indeed. You know, good luck in Germany, you bet.
Absolutely. And for all of us at home, let's bring it to sort of a middle level, because Cruise had an Oktober-sized...
I gave you a tee up there for Germany.
I was trying, but I missed it. An Oktoberfest-sized cleanup in Rhode Island this week because a tractor-trailer spilled cases of beer when it hit a bridge support in Pawtucket ahead of the morning commute. Eyewitnesses said there was beer spilled all over the highway, and presumably there were many frustrated beer drinkers in the region. And I had to say it, I saw the Pawtucket mention, and of course Peter Griffin from Family Guy liked to drink his Pawtucket Patriot beer, so I don't know if he was out there picking up a few sips or trying to...
Yeah, he might be scraping up some suds off the highway.
Fill it up into any kind of a pot or bucket that you can, like they did with the soup when that was shutting down.
Yeah,
so
gosh.
There you go.
Well, you know, no, I can tell you just in terms of the weather, it's still going to be outdoor, maybe even cold beverage weather. 19 degrees tomorrow, mainly sunny skies. But Friday, a chance of some showers, are back into the 20s for the weekend and early part of next week.
There you go. Thanks for tuning in. National News is next.